Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is artist Mary Zeran, who has a show coming up at Gilded Pear Gallery. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you. Hi.
Usually we would have Lauren Tucci from the gallery with us as well. She's under the weather, so between the two of us, we'll have to fill in all the housekeeping stuff.
God help us. Yes.
The dates and all of that stuff.
Fingers crossed.
With any kind of luck, between the two of us, we'll be equal to the task. But great to see you, Mary.
Nice to see you, too. I haven't seen you in a while.
Your new exhibit is called Dance Party.
Dance Party.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's a dance party at Gilded Pear.
It is. And there's actually a Spotify channel that I created for it with all dance music.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
So this is new work then since when?
It's all, well, that's not true. It's mostly work that was created in 2021. See, I can't even get the year right.
See, I would call that new work.
Yes, it's new work. Yes, artists think everything you haven't made last week is old, So, yeah, it's new work. And it's a split between my traditional narrative about the landscape with an undertone of feelings to there are some new pieces that talk about the work I've been doing recently, which is all about pattern and filling the space up to the very edge, mostly about emotions and rhythm.
For those who haven't seen your work or seen it for a while, tell us a little bit about the medium that you like to use. And, there's definitely a medium and definitely colors that I think of when I think of your work. Oh, there's a piece of Mary's. I know that.
Yes. Well, I like my color loud and proud. And I'm not afraid to just go as bright and cheerful as I want. I really think that color has emotion behind it. And so when people see color, they feel a certain thing. And even though I understand that when I make art, it's for a certain reason, I want my work to ultimately make people feel happy or have it be a chance to get away from their everyday life.
And mainly acrylics, am I
okay,
saying that
yes,
right?
You asked me another question. So, yes, I paint primarily on acrylics, with acrylics on polyester film, which is clear, and then I glue the pieces together to create other colors and patterns and things. And the reason I like that is because it's the ability for me to create a layered something with a lot of depth. And so when the person looks at it, it's like they're actually looking down into something. I want people, when they look at my work, to feel like they can get lost in it and explore inside of it. So.
And you said that the pieces that are a part of this you've been working on for, the last year.
Yeah.
Little year and a little more. So this is definitely kind of a coming out of COVID.
Yes, it's
show.
Definitely coming out of COVID. And the reason it's called Dance Party is because I was starting to feel pretty trapped inside, kind of like when you're in high school and you seriously want to become an adult and you just want to get out. And dancing has always been something that I use to release being confined. So that's why it's a dance party, because I thought we all needed one. So, the new work is, there's a lot about dancing in the sense of you can see a lot of movement, a lot of gesture and that kind of thing, maybe even a lot of flailing. And so...
Well, it can't be good art unless there's flailing.
No, I mean, it's essential you have flailing. And so, you'll see a lot of flailing, and then you'll see some pieces that are much more calm and things, so...
About how many pieces in the show?
Oh, goodness, you would ask me that. I'm sure there's something like close to 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the exhibit goes up beginning Friday, the 3rd of December at Gilded Pear. Will be up till after the first of the year. And as usual, there'll be a reception.
Yes, there'll be a reception, and we will be playing my Spotify dance party mix. So, my mixtape.
Yes, so it's Mary's mixtape.
Yes.
Will be the background music. So did you create that on the fly as you were working, or did you kind of sit down with your Spotify and start searching songs? Get personally curated, or did you base it off maybe one of those dance party channels or something like that?
Well, it's curated by me, and it's a combination. I went on Facebook and asked my followers, and on Instagram too, what songs they would listen to if they were wanted to go dancing. And then I always listen to music. Music is an integral part of my process. And so I go through all different phases. And so there's a lot of disco on it because, I'm 57, so I've heard a lot of music in my life. And so there's a lot of disco from the 70s, the 80s. Then I did go through and look at like dance tunes of the 70s and pick out the ones I remembered that I thought were really hot. And I went all the way up through the 90s or maybe the early turn of the century. Mm-hmm. And so that's what it has on it. Yeah.
And so that's a opportunity then to little extra look into the creative process.
Exactly. When people listen to that soundtrack, they'll know what I listen to when I paint.
I know it's like picking your favorite kid, but if there was a piece you would want people to make sure they spent some time looking at, that maybe kind of encompasses just a lot of what you were feeling and trying to do with this whole set of pieces. Is there one?
Oh, no, because all pieces are linked in the sense of like it's a sentence and they almost are like words or like phrases that equal a paragraph, and they all talk to each other and lead into the next. So there is a group of pieces that have a lot of waves going like this and a lot of bulbous kind of forms. And those were the work that I really focused on before I slipped over to my new series. And I'll tell you, I have no idea what any of these things are called.
No. So it's possible then going in, you as you look at things, you might be able to kind of see the little bit of line of demarcation.
Yes, you will see the line of demarcation. Yes.
Between the first group and kind of the second group.
Yes, and there are some pieces in the show that are a little bit older, and in those you can see the, I always call them the ancestors, but they're the roots or the groundwork for the new work. I think art making is like music, maybe like when you're composing, you kind of get some ideas and you put them down, and then it gets broader as you start adding to it and filling it out. And then also sometimes you have ideas in the beginning that you can't manifest till later, in like years later, because you don't understand what it's about, but it's good. It's just you're not ready to think about it yet. Is that hard to understand what I'm talking about?
No. Well, it's just any idea.
Yes.
Has to go through a process before it's fully formed. And
Thank you.
Sometimes I call that a green banana.
Oh, well, yes, it's that should be a show title, Green Banana, because,
it's not ready yet.
Right, and sometimes you don't know when it's going to appear in the future. It might take a couple years. I think it's fascinating, actually, how the process works.
Mary Zeran's show is called Dance Party. It opens December 3rd at the Gilded Pear Gallery with a reception from 5 until 7:30. Lauren couldn't be with us, but she did want to make sure that we also mentioned that you can visit the Gilded Pear website for special holiday hours. And in addition to Mary's reception, they have some special holiday stuff coming up, too.
Yes.
So you can visit gildedpeargallery.com for more information about all of that stuff. So, Mary, thank you for being here, and hope you have a great time at the dance party. I hope there's lots of flailing.
I do too, and thank you so much for having me come here. I always enjoy seeing you, Dennis.
Always a pleasure. Mary Zeran, again, it's gildedpeargallery.com to find out more about Dance Party. You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.